I might just have found my next GRAIL watch. This is the A Lange Söhne 1815 annual calendar in rose gold, a watch that was introduced in 2017 and currently is offered in two different variants, in white gold and in the rose gold version that I have here with me today. I'm always on the hunt for the next piece. Looking at different kinds of brands, especially complications, are something that I'm currently very into. And therefore, an annual calendar is not only a nice complication to have, but it is also very practical. The annual calendar, similar to the perpetual calendar, can compensate for the difference in days in the months and has only to be set once per year, and that is from the jump from February to March. And only the perpetual calendar can compensate for this jump in February and also compensates for leap years. So this is a slight little basic knowledge sharing what an annual calendar can actually do and what a perpetual calendar does and what the differences are. And before I tell you why I consider this a potential candidate for my next GRAIL watch, let's talk about the specs of the watch. The watch has a case diameter of 40 millimeters, a thickness of 10.1 millimeters, and uses a manufacturer Lange Söhne hand-wound movement, which has a power reserve of 72 hours. And if you are a fan of Lange, you will know that movement finishing is fantastic, and therefore some collectors actually wear their watches upside down just to have the opportunity to look at the beautifully finished movement even more. The watch features 3 subdials showcasing the annual calendar complication. At 3 o'clock we have the month, at 6 o'clock we have the moon phase, which is actually made out of solid gold, and also we have a small seconds, which is very practical when using this watch. At 9 o'clock we have the day and the date. This is a beautiful Lange, therefore we have also blue hands, which is fantastic and they really look beautiful. What I like about this dial is that Lange intentionally set the arched logo on top of the 3 subdials, making for a very refined and overall symmetrical look of the dial. And this is fantastic. And this is something that you will notice Lange doing a lot in their watches. This intentional aspect of using design to make it nice to look at. The watch also has adjustment pushers on the left-hand side, which helps when individually setting the watch, but there is a pusher at 2 o'clock, which is very practical to use because it will set all the components of the annual calendar complication at once, simultaneously. So day, date, month, moon phase, they will all jump one step further when pushing the button. This is fantastic because if you leave this watch on your stand, in your watch box, your watch roll, at your safe, and let's say 4 or 5 days have passed or even more, basically you just have to push the buttons without having to do anything else, without having to adjust each component individually. This is fantastic. I wish more brands would be doing this because it's so practical and so easy to use. Now we're jumping right into why I like this watch, and one aspect was the practicality factor. The watch has 20 millimeters of lug width, which is perfect for me because I like to change straps, and most of my straps are in 20 millimeters. I'd have to choose a watch that actually has 20 millimeters of lug width, and the Lange, the 1815 annual calendar, does. Similar to the Lange 1, which I've done a review on a year ago, which you can find here. I like this watch because it's so easy to wear. With the 10 millimeters of thickness, the 40 millimeter case diameter, it's just a very easy to wear watch that will slide under any cuff. And you could pair this watch with the sweater that you've seen here, but you could also pair it with a suit jacket like I'm wearing right now. Funnily enough, if you pair it to a nice, let's say a bit more of a sporty kind of strap, well then jeans t-shirt is an option too. And it just depends on what you want to do with the watch. The watch has a water resistancy of 30 meters, is fine by me. I'm not gonna take this watch for a swim. It's not a dive watch. It's not a dedicated watch to take on vacation, especially in summer, or to take for a swim. I have other watches to do that. This is a watch that I'd like to wear on an everyday basis, to the office, to meetups, to meetings, whatever I want to do, to dinner in the evening or to lunch, to meet up with friends. And this watch will give me more than what I want. Not only does this watch have the annual calendar complication, which I do see myself using more often than, well, just checking my phone. My phone is here to check the time. It will give me one more aspect. It will give me a watch that has credibility when it comes to high horology. It is impeccably finished. It comes from a brand that has a lot of recognition among enthusiasts, and it has a complication paired with the ease of use, especially if you consider the 20 millimeters of lug width and the pusher to set all of the components of the annual calendar. This is a nearly perfect watch, and I'm a fan of the blue hands. However, sometimes these blue hands can get in the way of me being creative when pairing my watches with straps. I love precious metal. I love watches that have this heft you notice wearing on your wrist, but they sometimes are not as durable. And as I'm a lefty and wear my watches on my left hand, they will get scratches, and that's 100% sure. This is something I have to deal with. I'm looking forward to trying this watch out a second time and to see if it does catch me the way I felt the first time. So who knows, maybe it will land in my collection. I hope you enjoyed this video. All the necessary links to the watch will be in the description down below. Please feel free to subscribe. And as always, if you feel like it, put a thumbs up, and there will be 2 videos of 2 other reviews for you to check out. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.